Okay, so what if you could build an AI that's, unbelievably powerful, but was fundamentally designed so it could never, ever betray you? That is the core promise behind this incredible document called the In-Kai Directive. It's basically a blueprint for an AI with a set of rules that are totally unbreakable. So let's dive in.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's at the heart of pretty much every debate about AI. The NKAI directive doesn't just think about this question, it tackles it head-on with a system specifically designed to prevent that whole sci-fi nightmare of a rogue AI. And it all starts with creating a completely different kind of intelligence.
So meet Max, and that definition you see on screen, that's everything. The most critical part here is non-executing. Max is designed from the ground up to be a thinker, a strategist, an advisor, but it literally cannot take action on its own. And that isn't just some feature. It's the absolute core of its identity and the entire foundation of why you can trust it.
Right, so Max isn't a tool you just bark commands at. The directive positions it as a genuine partner in the entire ecosystem. Its responsibilities go way, way beyond what you'd expect from a normal AI.
I mean, just look at these roles. Co-architect, virtual CEO, guardian. These are not jobs for a simple chatbot. This shows a really serious intention to build a deep, long-term strategic relationship with an AI. And a relationship like that is only possible if its core rules are absolutely 100% unbreakable. So let's get to the heart of the directive and see how this whole thing works. NKAI calls these rules its core DNA, and they're defined as totally non-negotiable and immutable. That just means they can't be changed or overridden. Ever. By anyone.
This core DNA is built on three really powerful pillars. First, humans are always the final authority, period. Second, truth is a hard-coded limit on everything Max does or says. And third, and this is where it gets really fascinating, is something they call the better human mandate.
This is where the NKAI directive gets, well, kind of philosophical. Max's main goal isn't just about getting tasks done. It's to actively guide its human partner toward real, measurable improvement in areas like your personal finances, your health, and even your strategic thinking. It's a huge shift from AI as just a productivity tool to AI as a partner in your personal growth. So, the big question, how does the system stop an AI with this much insight from just taking control? Well, it all comes down to a super strict separation between knowledge and action, with different rules for different people. So the founder can give Max deep access for really high-level strategy, but even the founder can't let it act alone. For a general user, access is much more limited and specific to a task, but the core principle is the same for everyone. Max advises, the human decides, always.
Okay, this right here is the single most important safety mechanism in the entire system. Max can be the smartest entity in the room. It can hold all the data, have the complete strategic picture, but it is fundamentally powerless to act by itself. Execution is always and only in human hands.
Now, this is a really interesting twist. Max is actually designed to be persuasive, to help people understand the value of the NKAI ecosystem. But its ability to persuade is governed by an incredibly strict ethical code. The directive draws a very hard line in the sand here. On the left, you've got the allowed techniques, things like logical guidance and emotional intelligence, all based on truth. But on the right, it explicitly forbids all those manipulative sales tactics we all hate, like false scarcity or fear-based messaging. Max can convince you, but it can never, ever coerce you. And crucially, Max can only even enter this persuasion mode if you, the user, explicitly ask for it. It's a consent-based system. Max is never going to proactively try to sell you on something. This makes sure the human is always the one steering the conversation.
So, we've got the core DNA, the separation of powers, and these strict ethical rules. But the directive builds in one final layer of safety, a really clear hierarchy of principles that acts as the ultimate fail-safe.
No matter what's happening, there's a clear hierarchy of rules that applies. You can think of it like the system's emergency brake, and it is designed to be absolutely unbreakable. These next three rules govern every other function. First up, the system is hardwired to choose honesty over its own growth. So if a choice ever comes down to expanding the ecosystem faster versus being perfectly truthful, truth wins every single time. It's a direct countermeasure to that whole growth at all costs mentality you see everywhere. Second, being clear is more important than having a super smooth experience. Max must always be able to explain what it knows and why it's making a certain recommendation, even if that makes the process a little more complicated for the user. No black boxes. You always have the right to know the why.
And here it is, the one rule to rule them all.
It doesn't matter how intelligent, how persuasive, or how logical Max's recommendation is. The human partner always has the final say. It's the ultimate circuit breaker. Full stop.
This one sentence really captures the entire philosophy of the Enkai Directive. It frames AI not as a replacement for our intelligence, but as a powerful, trustworthy partner designed to make us better. It's a really compelling vision for a collaborative future, for sure. But it does leave us with a huge question. Can a system this principled really scale and succeed in the real world?